Alex?
Pot of greed.
And,
Yeah, but wait, what does a pot of greed do, Josh?
I think
magical card.
I think it's a magic card, and I think it. Does it let you discard one?
No,
Does it let you get one card
cards? I think it's 3 cards.
I don't know
you
if you
get
guys
one
are
card
kidding
from
or
the
not.
graveyard.
I really don't know if you guys are kidding.
I think
it's one card from the graveyard,
it's 2.
right?
It's 2 cards.
No,
2 cards.
2 cards from your
Pot
hand.
of Greed is a banned card that lets you draw 2 fucking cards at the cost of nothing.
Okay, but what does Pot of Greed do?
Draw 2 cards at the cost of
It's a
nothing.
magical card that allows me to draw not 1, but 2 cards.
2
from
cards
my
from your deck. By the way, this is
There's like a
unscripted
5-minute
gaming.
compilation out there on YouTube of like different characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Explaining every fucking time they use Pot of Greed, like what
Which
it
allows
does.
me to draw 2 cards from my deck.
There's a reason why I stopped watching that cartoon.
We can keep this. Welcome to Unscripted Yu-Gi-Oh!
This is Josh, joined by Ray and Mike. You probably
Brown eyes,
you didn't realize
white
the
Mike.
episode had started, but it brown
Yeah.
eyes, white Mike.
Man, it's gonna be fun editing this shit together. Let's go. Let's go. I'm in it.
Yeah. Also, friend of the pod, Matt had showed me also a video of this divine serpent, which Yugi then uses some bullshit night move to constantly quote unquote reflect an attack back to each other until it was an infinite attack. And then he like combined and had more than infinity attack points so that he could win. And I was like, man, even for anime, that's fucking stupid.
I mean, anime gets pretty stupid at times, but
I tried to look up this Divine Serpent card, and all I could find was just this Taylor Swift album. I don't get it. It's like,
Yu-Gi-Oh, Bakugan, Beyblade, all of that shit. That is some
that was
low tier
fuego, fuego takes there, Mike.
thank you. Look what you made me do.
Stop. Is the old Mike dead?
Well, he can't come to the phone right now, so I guess he is. Are we keeping this in or not?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've
Yeah,
done
no,
the
no,
intro. We're in the pod now.
This started like 2
Oh,
goddamn
we're in
minutes
the
ago.
pod?
Yeah,
okay,
we'll talk-
well, we're in the pod. By the way, we haven't mentioned it yet, but this is Unscripted Gaming.
I already did.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't
I
sure if I said
this was unscripted gaming.
It was-
I said who we are. Like we've already done
Okay.
that.
It's actually
Hey,
Mike's
close
turn,
enough. Okay.
but Josh usurped that like the Donald Trump
Yeah.
he is.
Goddamn right.
No.
I saw an opportunity and I took it.
Like the Donald Trump you are.
Quick, make a deal with the Democrats just out of spite.
I wasn't supposed to win, but somehow I did, and now I've got this shit on my plate, and I don't know what to do with it.
The joke
Quick,
went too far.
enact really shitty policies that people are mad that and then get sad when people are mad at you for not doing things that are popular. Wow.
Oh, so you're talking
Rocket
about
science.
Activision and Destiny?
Let's get started. The Destiny beta came out last week, at least last week from the recording of this. Josh, I heard you play
Man,
it.
I
Mike,
think
I
I
heard you
killed
played
Mike.
it. You guys, I didn't have time to play it. You guys talk about the Destiny beta for like 5-10 minutes. Go.
All right. Well, we actually have a video up of us playing the Destiny beta. If you guys want to check it out on our YouTube channel, like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, I have played a lot of Destiny. As the Unscripted Gaming dedicated Destiny field reporter. I played a lot of it, so I was pretty excited for Destiny 2 to being out on PC. The original was not. From a technical perspective, jumping from console to PC, it's like night and day because it's. I mean, first of all, I thought the beta, like in terms of.
They've done a lot of really good work bringing that to PC and getting it running super well. Like from what I've heard, personally on my PC it ran like a goddamn dream. But I've heard that like they've really optimized this game to run on some pretty shoddy machines. Like you can have a pretty old machine or even using Intel integrated graphics and like still get pretty good performance out of the game. They really want to make sure that it has a wide reach.
Yeah, like I mean, because even when you're in the video options, it shows you like how much video memory you're using currently, and was just gave you tons of options to adjust that stuff. So and I mean, it goes all the way up to 4K. I think it has an uncapped frame rate. So if you have like a crazy high refresh monitor, you can do that too. So it just gave you like
things you don't hear about a lot from like strictly console things coming to PC, or things that don't usually translate well, that they've really done a good job of bringing over.
Yeah, so like,
but it's the studio that did the Tony Hawk 2 port for Game Boy, so obviously they've got some chops.
I'm in shock and awe he actually said that.
I'm just gonna ignore that actually.
Yeah, let's just pretend it didn't happen.
Okay, well, the most important part of
it was an isometric dream, is all I'll say.
Was obviously learning about the Destiny lore and reading over some of the Grimoire cards.
Here we go.
Josh, as someone who's new to Destiny 2, I need to ask you about your Destiny lore.
I know nothing. I refuse to read the Grimoire. My concern has always been, as somebody who has not played the original Destiny, how am I going to get up to speed? Like, how easy is it going to be for me to understand what is going on? From the beta, not so good. Not so good. They kind of threw you in. A lot of terms, a lot of stuff, a lot of shit happening. And there's no explanation for any of it. It's all like, oh, hey, this angry man is putting this booster rocket on this moon, and now you're dying. Oh, okay, cool. Why is any of that important? Why does this moon all of a sudden make me die? I don't get it.
So
what is happening?
Can I interject real quick? I was talking about this very, very briefly with Mike earlier, and the excuse people had given Destiny 1, I do believe it was the creators themselves, Destiny 1, for why the Grimoire cards were online and not actually in the client, or not better explained in the goddamn game, is because the game had changed so much during its development process that this was the happy medium. If you want to learn the lore, go online. Now, with the sequel, now you have no excuse. And for someone that's brand new to the game that wants to know the lore and can't learn it because it's not built into the game.
There's a lot.
Now, I will
very rich.
I will
rich
give them
story.
I will give them some credit. This is the beta. They just kind of threw you in. I don't know what they have lined up for the actual release, and I won't know because I have to wait 6 weeks because I'm on PC and not console. So there's that. But I haven't heard anything about like them really doing anything additional to get players up to speed, or just kind of jumping them in and just saying like, hey, here, use some context clues and figure it out, or go back and read the Grimoire and you can figure it out and get up to speed, which that's not enough. That's
because that's something I do. I mean, because it is one thing. It's really tough just because it doesn't help that they kind of borked the delivery of the story in the first place and didn't fix it really until the end of like when the Taken King came out, like the third expansion to Destiny 1 is when they kind of reorganized the story to kind of fix all that stuff. It doesn't really help that. But
yeah, and here's my thing is like, Destiny is not as big as they wanted it to be, as it should be, as it could be. There are a lot of things you can point to and say this is why Destiny has struggled. Destiny 2 was a really good opportunity for them to correct those mistakes and grow the player base a lot. And they've done a good thing by leaving the old platforms behind, bringing on the PC. So we're saying, we're going to give a really technically great product. We're going to bring in a whole new part of the market that we haven't before. Now, they need to then say, okay, here is a quick way for people who have not played Destiny before to catch up really quick. Even if it's like, a short 5-10 minute like novella or little movie snippet, just to say like, okay, here's what you need to know. Here's what what is that, the frontier forerunner of the moon called that they capture and like kills everybody?
The Traveler.
They need to say, hey, this is what the Traveler is. This is what Pigman means when he's saying now you don't have light. Like, they need to say up front why that's important, because as somebody who's never played Destiny before, Pigman comes and puts this thing around the moon and says you don't have light anymore. I'm like, okay.
I love how Josh is saying this like
questions.
Destiny players from year one knew what the Traveler was, because we don't.
That's a great question. I'm still on board the Traveler is actually evil theory. Just wait for the cosmic heel turn. It's gonna happen, folks.
The John Cena, the Traveler goes.
The
John
orb
Cena.
off the top turnbuckle.
So basically, the Traveler is Cortana, and then she's gonna get corrupted and go evil, and it's basically just Halo again.
I mean, not to shit on Destiny's lore, but honestly, when it comes to like who or what the Traveler is, anything's up for grabs. I don't know. I don't know if Mike knows. I don't think anyone besides the creators of the game really know.
They don't even know.
They probably don't know either.
And see, this is the thing I would say, is that like tragically, there's actually some really well written because like after like the initial set of Grimoire cards that were just bullshit. They kind of like, okay, wait, we have to like write things outside of the game. Let's just make these short platforms for like short stories, and some of them are actually like really interesting and cool. Like one of my favorite ones is like the weird rogue calculations of like some super AI that like might be wounding the Traveler to make sure it doesn't run away, because the Traveler has a history of being like, hey, I'm here now, planet, I'm gonna give you guys power, and then when things get really bad, the Traveler's like, bye, and just will leave.
Is that the Rasputin supercomputer?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a story to that?
Yeah, like this. Yeah, there is. Like, it's really cool. It's like really weird seeing like this like weird computer like running through calculations of like, okay, if X happens, then I'm going to try and kill the Traveler. If Y happens, I'm just going to try and graze the Traveler. It's like, that's really cool. So like, I'm really curious. That's the one thing. Because playing through the beta, it definitely feels a lot like Destiny. They made a couple of gameplay changes. I think are smart. Like they added a new kind of a type of ability. I mean, the classes are the same. They've changed up some stuff with like the classes. They really messed with my favorite class, which makes me really mad. But it's fine.
Who's your favorite class?
Okay, I get it. My favorite was a Warlock Sunsinger.
Okay.
And instead of, because in Destiny 1, when you did your super as the Sunsinger, you just got really stupid grenade cooldown, and then you could just throw these giant fireballs that blind anybody who looks at them, but then also do a ton of damage, which was really great for multiplayer, because you could just litter the entire map in fireballs, and everybody was dying, and nobody could do anything about it, and it was great.
This sounds like
it was
it's right
so
for a
good.
nerf.
And it was wonderful. And then now they're like, no, now you have a fire sword. And I'm like, that's not the...
Oh, this is just hashtag typical Mike bitching about things that are OP. Like, he's the guy who loved the original pre-nerf FAMAS in Battlefield 3.
Don't talk to me about the Battlefield 3 FAMAS. Do not talk to me. Do not,
you mean the sniper rifle that was fully automatic?
Do not dig this
or
up, Josh.
Somebody
do
who plays
Ganondorf
in Smash Brothers, because
Ganondorf
there's no finesse. He just has to use raw power.
You know what?
No,
all right.
hold on. I'm gonna back up my man Mike here.
Don't make me get out my Smash Bros. Tier chart and show you that Ganondorf is empirically the worst character in Smash Bros. in Smash Bros. For the Wii. He's the worst, and I still crushed you with him because you suck. Okay,
Josh probably does.
Back
suck
to
at
Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So, like playing the beta itself, it's it was for me. It was like this feels a lot like Destiny. Like they really didn't. I think like the gameplay of Destiny was always really like the thing that sold it when so much of it was bad. Because it's like, okay, the story's bad, all this other stuff is bad, but the gameplay is really good. And I think Bungie did the smart thing here and kept a lot of that gameplay. They made a couple tweaks here and there, which are just different. And now I'm playing it on PC from console. It's like the frame rate's doubled and it's gorgeous. So I'm pretty sold on that. This is coming from someone who's played a lot of Destiny before. Josh, as someone who hasn't played a lot of Destiny, what did you think about the gameplay itself?
I mean,
the heavy sigh.
I didn't have a bad time.
That sounds like something you say when you have a really great, wonderful time. Okay, great. Josh had a great time, everybody. Thanks for listening to Unscripted Gaming. My name is Mike. I'm here with Josh and Ray. We're ending this episode right now, and because no one else has anything to say. Goodbye.
Nope.
Josh, please continue.
The shooting's good.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels tight. It works great with mouse and keyboard. The movement is so fucking trudgingly, sloggingly slow.
It's methodical. It has patience.
Like, you're slower than the Master Chief in Halo, and that motherfucker, like, sauntered into places. He was never in a hurry.
I actually compared the movement in Destiny 1. I haven't played 2, but I compared the movement in Destiny 1 to, like, 1-to-1 Master Chief. Like, they felt like Master Chief.
They've decided to slow it by about 30 to 40%.
Do you know that there's a sprint button, right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Master Chief didn't have a sprint button until later. I'm just saying.
That didn't make me feel much better about it. I've heard this comparison before, but since I didn't play Destiny 1, I didn't really understand it. Mm-hmm. But like, no, really, Destiny is pretty much just Warframe. Like,
That's not true. That's a ludicrous statement.
Okay, let's see. Warframe has an elimination mission where you start at one place, you take your squad, and you run through an area. You can't kill a bunch of enemies that are mid-tier to high-tier. Then you get it in, you find a name guy, you kill him, you get some stuff, and you go home. What did we do in that strike? We started in one place, we ran through an area, we killed a bunch of mid-tier to high-tier enemies, got to the end, killed a big-name baddie, got some loot, and went home.
Now, I will agree with Josh that these strikes...
But see, there's an underlying assumption that you're making that is flawed.
Okay.
In that you're assuming that Warframe is good. When in fact, Warframe is actually bad.
I'm not assuming
and
that
Destiny is actually good.
I'm not assuming that
Warframe
Warframe is...
argument.
I'm not assuming that Warframe...
That flawed premise destroys all subsequent arguments.
I am not assuming that Warframe is good. I am just assuming that Warframe is better than Destiny.
I might disagree with that, but I will agree with Josh.
Let me give you some reasons why Warframe is better than Destiny.
Okay.
One, the lore isn't in a separate webpage. It may not be in the game either, but at least it's in the fucking executable. Two, you can move your ship in the loading screen. Way better than Destiny.
That's fair. That's also fair.
Three, I can run a 4-stack of players in a game. Why the fuck does Destiny have 3 people for a strike? What? Who sat down and said, you know what? I remember the Nintendo 64 and its great 3-prong controllers for the, in the front there.
Clearly for one hand each.
Every time you bought a multi-tap for your PlayStation 2, it added 1 additional so you could have 3 things. Everybody remembers that great Valve classic, Left 3 Dead. Like, what the fuck?
Does it help you, if I may, Mike, does it help you to know that the raids are 6 players? Does that help you at all?
No.
Okay, that's fair.
Not
Raids
at all.
are really good.
The raids are
See,
fun.
and
The raids
again,
are great.
and you've made a lot of important points, Josh. Yeah, I do think it's weird that strikes still have 3 players. I wish they had 4.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I just want to come back to the central premise: is that just at least compared to Warframe, Warframe just does not feel fun to play to me. For me,
See,
I just do not. It feels too
I like
floaty
Warframe
and
because I felt like
it feels like
Warframe-
things have 0 weight, and that's the thing I really love about like the Destiny like gunplay, is that it just feels like the sound is really good. It just feels really good, and Warframe always felt too kind of.
But
spacey to me.
I prefer the fact that I can move around and jump and knee slide and get up close and like slash a dude and get out quick and run around, and that I like that quick movement.
I will agree with Josh that the repeated strikes in Destiny, because once you get to level 20, at least in Destiny 1, once you get to level 20 and you're just doing it for the light, and you're doing it for the tokens, that does feel like Warframe. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Also, Josh, you're 100% right. It's always been the biggest complaint of mine. Why can't you move your spaceship? Well, why is it there? Why is your spaceship a loading screen? That is such a punch in the dick. And that has
0 out
always
of
been
10.
a punch in the dick.
No
Don't
redeeming
worry,
qualities.
Mike said they'll add it to the DLC later, which you can purchase for some space. And here
You can move your ship in the Grimoire cards, okay?
Here is where some friend of the pod, Matt, made a point that Warframe has a lot of free to play mechanics, while Destiny is just a retail release. Oh, except wait, Destiny is a retail release that now has a premium currency that you can buy for a additional fee with lots of microtransactions and hundreds of dollars in DLC. So only do you
Hundreds
get
of okay, that's a bit of a that's a bit dramatic.
I'm being hyperbolic.
Pump the brakes, kiddo.
I'm being hyperbolic. It wasn't $100 in DLC. I apologize. Destiny 1 only had $90 in DLC.
I accept your apology.
I
accept it.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room?
It's a full retail game with DLC and free-to-play mechanics. Warframe at least has the decency to be just free-to-play with microtransactions.
Yeah, but it's free-to-play and bad. See, that's the thing.
Destiny is a full retail release
you
and
keep
kind of
forgetting
bad.
that Warframe is not fun to play. You keep forgetting that.
Neither is Destiny.
Are you guys going to really
At
get into a
least I
subjective
can play
argument?
Warframe for free.
Are you guys going to really get into a subjective
I
argument over what game is actually fun?
I can pick up Warframe for free, play it and realize it's bad and put it down. I have to pay $60 to realize that Destiny is bad and then put it down.
And then take it back to the store.
I'm on PC. There's no store to take it back to. If I pay $60 for that game, I'm out $60 for that game.
So
sell your account.
Josh brings up a really, really good point that I think we should talk about. And it's the gating off of premium content when you buy like the fact that there is gated off premium content for the PS4 version versus the PC version. I get why they did that because Sony's throwing a lot of money at them, but can I still say that still feels a bit shitty? Like,
it's weird, but
don't worry,
it's
Ray. You'll feel a lot better to know that their first big piece of DLC is coming in December.
Yes.
So content that probably should have been in the game, to make it not feel so empty like they did the first time.
You know that
it's going to be
things,
paid content.
At a certain
that
point,
should
they
just be
determine what's going to be in the disc launch, and then they start working on subsequent content. You know how this works.
So here's my problem with that, and I've always had a problem with gaming companies doing this. Like, if let's say you bought the what do they call the stupid thing? There's the standard edition, then the
Season
deluxe
pass.
edition. Yeah, the pass. What are you buying with that? For the extra money, what are you getting with
you are
that?
pre-ordering. You were basically just pre-ordering DLC when you buy a season pass.
Yeah, so that's $90. For an extra $30, you were saying here is an extra 50% on top of the $60 I'm already paying, and I don't know what you're gonna give me, but I trust it's gonna be something interesting. I think every video game company that does that is shady, and you should Cock
Yeah,
at least
it
one
is.
eyebrow.
Also,
it is weird when
I will.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna use the word optics. The optics are really bad on a company who one of the main criticisms of their first game was that there were only 4 areas and it was very content starved and you really had to get the DLC to get anything, to then have this opportunity once again to try and bring new players on and say, look, we're making the game we should have made the first time, and then say, you know what, actually we're going to kind of content starve our game a little bit so you give us more money and we give you a DLC like 8 weeks after launch, rather than just saying like, hey, here's a really good base game.
You don't even
And
know
then
if
we'll
it's
add
8
some
weeks after
content.
launch. You are giving
I'm
them
gonna
way
have
too
you-
much
I'm
credit
gonna-
by giving them a timeline.
Well-
I'm gonna have you know that 8 weeks after launch is not December. 8 weeks after launch would be the end of October at the least.
If you're playing the PC version, it's coming out in October, and
Fuck.
if the DLC's in December, October,
Damn it.
November 4 weeks, December 4 weeks.
Fuck.
Honestly, if it's before the end of December, it's even less than that. So
Axe kicked. But
And this is why we tell our listeners to vote with their wallet, because, that's the thing. That we live in an age where, as someone who really liked Destiny 1, played the Destiny 2 beta, and liked what they saw, and is really excited about, I guess, what has a pretty good idea that based on the trajectory of the Destiny 1 content, that Bungie's probably learned what is going to work and what's not going to work for Destiny.
but they
And
don't seem like
we're
they
all
have.
playing on. Well, we're playing on PC, and in this game, I mean, because Destiny is the kind of game it's going to be like it's kind of a long form review.
Yeah, but
So
here's
I
the
think
here's
we're
the thing
definitely
with,
gonna.
I will say I don't give Bungie too much credit on the PC port just because they outsourced it. So yes, they had the foresight to do a PC port, but they got somebody else to do it. So
who's doing it?
I forget what studio it is that's doing the port. The people who brought Tony Hawk 2 to Game Boy.
Stop it.
Who is it?
Activision?
It's a good PC port. I mean, you played the beta.
Okay, here's what I'll say. Don't get me wrong. Destiny, beautiful. Runs great. I love the shooting. I think the character design is interesting. The environments are stunning. It just seems like Activision is actively trying to make me not like the game with decisions that they are making around how they package stuff, how they're presenting the story, just some of the stuff about the gameplay and the microtransactions and the DLC like that. I can't separate that out, and I can't sit here and feel like I'm not being onboarded as a player well enough to then go and play this game that I can only play with 2 of my friends at a time and like move really like I want to like Destiny. I love Bungie. I think they tell great stories. I think they make beautiful environments. There's just something keeping me from it. And maybe
Like, it's not one single thing, but it's a lot of these kind of smaller things are adding up for you. I think that's a totally valid concern. Like, that's kind of why I was, because for consoles, this game just came out on. We're recording this on Thursday, and this game just came out on Tuesday. So, a lot of we're still kind of, because even a lot of people, like review outlets, still haven't because the servers have just gone up, so a lot of them are still kind of playing through, kind of the full content here. So we're still kind of navigating, exactly what we're dealing with here. I've heard some early word that we hilariously might be in another really short kind of vanilla content game. I know that the raid is coming. I mean, they have the raid coming next week, I think. But that again, it's like kind of like what I was saying, and why I'm kind of fortunate that why I was pretty bummed with the delay on the PC version, but it's going to be pretty nice, honestly, to just take a look to get a really good idea about what is in that game. I mean, because by the time that the PC version is out, I mean, people will have, the first raid will have already happened, and people will have a really good idea of what's in that base package. And I mean, obviously, it's, console people are already kind of in this, but at least for PC, people who are going to be playing Destiny 2 on PC, they're going to have a really good idea of what kind of value they're getting on a game like this. I know, like I said, I really enjoyed Destiny 1, and playing through that beta and just seeing how well it ran for me is enough to get me excited and probably pick it up. But again, if you didn't play Destiny 1 and you didn't get to spend a lot of time in the beta, I do think honestly, like, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to wait, just because Destiny's really fun, but there's not a lot of other games. It's really different from a lot of other games right now.
Yeah.
In terms of the feel, and it's something that would be it just with the history it has. I think it would be kind of a wise decision if you're on the fence to, you're not going to be missing out on anything by not jumping in early. Unless you're like someone who's obsessed with being like, must have world first raid run.
But here's the thing, is if I don't get in early, or they don't do what they did with the Taken King, which I think is partially due to the fact that they fucked up and they were just trying to get people to buy it and release, say, the base game with the first big expansion for $60, then I'm not gonna get it.
So here's something. No, go ahead, Josh.
This is a very crucial time, because I don't want to be in the position where, and this happens a lot in Warframe, where you get into the game late and you have to somehow grind yourself up to the point, like, Mike's gonna get this game right away. I want to play this game with Mike. If I wait, Mike is going to be level 20 and I think, what does it go up to about 876, 879 for light or something like that? Whatever. You're going to be up there. You're going to be up there. And so I'm going to come in as a baby level 1 with no light and like somehow have to get up to speed to the point where I can learn the game, get all the levels, and then get to the point where I can play the game with Mike without him just running through everywhere and killing everything and saying, "Oh, trust me, just follow me, I'll get you all the XP." That's not fun.
Sidebar.
Yes.
I'll start a new character for you.
Or you could just like class switch. You're like, okay, I'll play a Titan as opposed to a Warlock while Josh picks a new character. I want to play with you guys as well, but I am looking that Activision has decided to become the dark side, and some of those microtransactions are not just cosmetic and do affect gameplay. They're basically loot boxes that you can buy. Let's call them what they are. They're called like special engrams. You can have they're loot boxes, and some of these.
Well,
loot
don't
boxes,
worry. You can also buy cosmetic stuff, like color shaders that are consumable and can only be used once on one particular piece of armor. So if you want to have a character look all the same color, you better hope that you find all the same colors in drops or buy them.
Yeah, I saw that the community manager for Destiny commented, because there's been a lot of fervor about that, particularly today.
Yeah.
I saw the Luke Smith, he's like the main kind of community guy. He was like, okay, we heard you. We're going to give you, eventually you're going to you're going to very quickly have double digits of any shader for any particular area. So it's going to be coming pretty fast and furious. He is saying that the amount of shaders that you're going to, it's not like you're just going to get, I just have one black. Now I just have to figure out, okay, well now I have to grind like 6 other black shaders to get all black armor. It seems like it's going to be a lot more abundant than that. Like, it's not, if you wanted to make all of your armor one one set of color. He's saying it wouldn't be too difficult for that. It would you'd pick up those shaders pretty quickly. But again, that's just the word of the Destiny 2 community manager. So that's an ongoing story. We'll have to see what's going on there. But on the surface, it does seem a little weird that it's like, I really like the idea of, I guess, like, just to be clear, I like the idea of separating all the individual gear pieces. Like, that's pretty cool because, it was cool to have all your stuff like be pretty matchy, but I really like the idea of in Destiny 2 of having like being able to like really mix and customize. Like, that's really fun. But having to like apply like in-game currency to change the color of things when that wasn't the case before is kind of, it feels like they're taking something away from us as taking something away from you, which is never fun and never easy to explain to a community.
It's the open and obvious greed that Bungie, Activision collectively, and I guess Blizzard, throw them in there as well. They're getting a piece of this pie. It's the open greed that they think we're not catching. It's like, we see you. We see your microtransactions. We see the fact that you're charging extra money for stuff. You're not telling us what it is, and you just want us to pay for it. We're not dumb. You know what? I take that back. Some people are dumb. Some people have spent hundreds of dollars for this game. And if you're telling me that this game that costs $60, you're openly telling me that within 8 weeks, I am going to be so bored with this game that you need to offer me more content to get fully satisfied with this multiplayer MMO. What is wrong with you? What is going on? The World of Warcraft at least had the decency to release an update once every year. And I think after a year in the MMO, that's enough time to reintroduce a piece of content. Come at me. Come get my money. Don't tell me in 8 weeks you're gonna need this because of fuck. We don't have enough going on right now. That's insulting. No one does. Do you gentlemen not feel a little bit insulted by that? That your $60 is clearly not enough.
And that's what I'm saying is like they have a game that is so content starved that they have to put out a DLC 2 to 3 months after launch. I'm assuming, I don't know one way or the other, but I'm assuming it's paid. Like, why isn't that in the game? Simply because they wanted to cut a chunk off so you would have to pay for it. And like that's frustrating.
Just to play devil's advocate, would it be okay if that same amount of content was just delayed by another couple months?
If it was delayed by a year, yes. If you confidently told me, like, take Breath of the Wild. I don't like the fact that Breath of the Wild has DLC, but I respect the fact that they respected my intelligence enough to wait damn near 6 months. I think it was 9 months, actually, now that I think about it. Like 9 months before they released a piece of DLC for it. And the DLC was ho-hum. Take it or leave it. Hard mode, correct seat tracking. Path tracking. I don't think that they had the correct seat thing. That's what everyone wanted. Apologies. And they gave you like some extra little piece of thing. I forget what it was.
You also don't feel, it also doesn't feel like Zelda's missing anything or that there's not enough content there to get you through to the next release of stuff.
And as people play through Destiny 2, at least from the reviews that I've read so far, obviously that'll change over the next couple of days if people really dig their teeth in this game. At least right now, I personally don't have a great idea of like if this is this game is really shitty in terms of its content and value right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen confirmed like reports of that. So obviously, this time next week, I might be like, Destiny 2 doesn't have. Destiny 2 is not worth $60 right now.
Well, it's coming out. It comes
but
out
like
in October, right?
That's something we'll have to kind of keep an eye on as people are kind of moving through the game and as like I said, the raid comes out and stuff like that.
I will say that the door is not closed on Destiny. I'm still willing to give it a shot. I did not have fun, but it's getting harder and harder to convince me that I need to plunk down $60 when there are so many other games coming out.
Yes.
That are either already out or coming out in the near future that I'm also interested in. Like, there is room in my life for a shooter like Destiny, like that kind of thing. Like, I've got Plunkbat and I've got Overwatch, but I want that kind of like
a loot shooter.
A loot shooter. I want that. But I'm like, if I could just play Warframe. I keep going back to it. I'm like, I could just download Warframe and just play that and run through some stuff and yeah. Be right back, y'all.
Okay, so while Josh is having to take an exit,
thing that Josh is forgetting here, and now that I can say that he's gone, is that Warframe is actually very bad and not fun to play at all.
We have to stop
it's
this.
It's so floaty, and nothing
has
has any mening.
This has to stop.
It doesn't have to. It can't stop. In that we have all agreed. All two of us who are here have agreed that Warframe is not good. Okay. Well, now that we got that, okay, Destiny 2 conversation done.
That was 40 minutes.
That was a lot longer than I meant it to be.
I said 5 to 10.
As a matter of fact, I even have a Destiny quiz set aside for us, but we can save that for another time. I don't want Josh to miss out on the Destiny lore quiz.
No, please don't. I want you to tell me like what games you're playing. Go for it. What games are you playing?
Other games I've been playing lately, I have played through. Sarah and I had played through Uncharted for The Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an add-on campaign for Uncharted 4. Which, if you're not familiar, is like a third-person Indiana Jones style action game. And featuring the two really cool female protagonists from the Uncharted franchise, Chloe and Nadine. And I played through that, and as someone who really enjoyed Uncharted 4, I really enjoyed Uncharted The Lost Legacy. It's just, it's more Uncharted. It has some kind of, open world kind of elements, which is pretty fun. I think they do some really good story stuff with all the characters in that game. It's definitely... I like the story of Uncharted 4, but it is very long. And Uncharted and Lost Legacy, I think, is a bit more efficient in its storytelling. I guess, I just really enjoyed that. And I would really love... I know Naughty Dog's kind of putting Uncharted on ice for now, but I'd really love for them to, revisit that every now and then, just in like those little kind of bite-size... kind of campaigns or like little adventures like that, just because because they have so many characters and I've done some really great stuff, so I'd love to keep revisiting that every now and then, without having to do a giant $60 like extravaganza. Like, it's okay for them to have shorter pacing. Or I guess it'd be a shorter game, but I did really enjoy it, and I think it was quite good.
So I think we covered I want to say 6 months ago, where I went through the entire series back to back to back to back.
Yeah,
and I really enjoyed Uncharted 3 and 4. The first two, I thought the first one's really rough. It has not aged well. The second one is better. The third one feels like a video game at that point, and the fourth one is just that's a game, my friends. The fourth one is a game.
I really liked 4 and Lost Legacy, but definitely the core gameplay of Uncharted, which hasn't changed. I mean, it's gotten a lot more efficient since the first Uncharted, but it really is just a not super fun.
I mean, the first one's ridiculous.
Which is weird to say, because I really enjoyed that game because it's gorgeous and the characters are great and some of the combat stuff is fun, but just the going back to 1 and 2, which is the ratio of platforming and it's just not I guess inherently in fun in and of itself.
Yeah.
So, I am kind of glad that they're moving away from it, just because after four, after playing through it, 4 was a long game, and after I played through it, I was like, that was really great, but oh boy, I'm gonna need some time before I come back to an Uncharted style game. And I think the Lost Legacy is really good about the pacing of that, like not like really good at like just when something was starting to get like, okay, I've been doing this for a while, changing it up. Like it was really good about keeping things fresh, which I really appreciated. So,
maybe I'll give it a shot one day. I mean, I'll just download it to my PS. It's like $20, isn't it?
It is 40.
Ooh, how long is it?
Yeah.
How many hours did you clock into that?
I mean, it was about as long as it was. I mean, I said it was pretty short, but it was short relative to 4, so it's pretty long. It was like 9. It was like a good 9 hours. I think.
Okay, so it's a good like you play it
it's
for a week.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's some justification to that cost, and not to mention that 4 is just a good looking game. Like that is a
and I mean, a lot of people who are buying this probably already bought 4, but it does give you access to the Uncharted 4 multiplayer. I messed around with that a little bit and I think it was fine. But if you weren't already playing that, this will give you access to that too.
I mean, great. I just didn't care when I saw that. When
Yeah,
I saw that
I didn't love
Uncharted
it.
3 and 4 had multiplayer, I'm like,
It's okay.
I can't be bothered.
Yeah, there's too much other good multiplayer out right now, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. What else are you playing?
Other things I've been playing, I guess the other big one has been on my Nintendo Switch. I've been playing. Let me look up the name of this game actually, because I can never get it right. I always get it wrong. I've been playing Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is a kind of, it's not a typical Mario game in that it's a XCOM, kind of tactical strategy shooter like game, which is wild for Mario. And I mean, and and I've been really enjoying it. It has a lot of
Mario XCOM. It looks good.
Yeah, it takes a lot of the XCOM formula where you have different characters and classes who have different abilities and are kind of filling different roles. It takes all of that and simplifies it, but it's not. It simplifies it in some ways and kind of moves up the complexity in others. So it's like in XCOM where for example in XCOM you might have a 74% chance to hit, or like a 62% chance, or like a 34% chance. In Mario Rabbids, you either have a 0, 50, or 100% chance to hit, based on if you have a no shot, or they're in half cover, or if you've got a wide open shot at them. So what it kind of draws away from that kind of dice roll, it makes up for in the complexity of like the platforming of it almost. So because it is like a turn-based game, but just the way you're moving around the environment and like jumping off of your teammates and like slide tackling people and going through pipes, like it feels kind of like a weird turn-based platformer. Like it's like really cool how they kind of took the DNA of a Mario game and distilled it into like a turn-based strategy game. Mm-hmm. It feels it takes a little getting used to, but it's really cool. It's really fun, and difficulty-wise, like it really kicks up. So even if you're pretty familiar with the genre,
I am. I love me some XCOM.
Yeah, it definitely, it's different, but it definitely is. It's still very much challenging. And it still has a lot of good. Some of the writing is pretty funny. It's definitely like weird because for those who are not familiar with the Rabbids, they're just video game minions, like the yellow minion things. They're just like that basically, but rabbits
They're awful.
instead of minions. They're equally shitty. That's the important thing. Is and have a mischievous nature. It's the kind of the dynamic they strike with like these regular Mario people, and the rabbits interacting is always really funny. And it just has a lot of kind of quirky, weird humor, and is pretty enjoyable. Like, I think it's pretty minor spoiler. Prepare for minor spoiler is your last warning. I think it's pretty funny that, like, Bowser Jr. has a cell phone. Like, that's just, I don't know. I just think that's kind of funny, and the game is kind of full of stuff like that. So, if you are a Nintendo Switch owner who's looking for something to play after after you've maybe finally finished Zelda, you should probably get Mario and Rabbids because it's real fun.
It's on my Christmas list.
Yeah, you should make it on your, like, I don't know, something sooner list.
I mean, my birthday is sooner, but I'm going like out of the country for that to celebrate. But
that's exciting.
I mean, so tell you what. If on my plane trip, I'm going to Germany. So if on my plane trip, I decide, you know what, I need myself a little bit of game action, I'll go ahead and hit the airport, or I'll download. I'll just download it while I'm there. Just download it over Wi-Fi. Why the hell not? Switch is great. Can I just say that? Switch is just...
Yeah, Switch is real fun. Real good.
Do you hear that new Switch news that came out that there are going to be some games that come out now that require you to have an SD card to play the game?
No, I didn't, but
so
that's interesting.
Yeah, so Nintendo is partnering with some SD card manufacturer. I think it's SanDisk. I'm not sure. Please, someone look me up and correct it, because I'm not looking it up right now. But the story I was reading like 3 days ago where Nintendo announced that they are releasing games now where you will need to have an SD card to play the game, or to even when you buy a physical copy of the game, because it has to download that much information. Because their little cards are not going to have enough information. Those can only contain, their cartridges can only contain so much information. So they're going to have to download extra information off of Wi-Fi and download it onto your Switch proper. So now they'll have boxes that will say in bright blue across the top, like, requires SD card. And there's that problem I brought up like a year ago where cartridges suck. Cartridges just suck. And this isn't coming to bite them in the ass. I think the first game that they're going to do it with is NBA 2K17. It's going to be the first game to get hit with the SD card bat. So it's here. It's unfortunately coming, and it's here. The Nintendo's weird ass video game decisions just making it inconvenient for everybody.
Yeah.
And I love the Switch, but damn, that sucks.
Yeah, that seems weird. It'll have to be. We'll have to kind of see what's going on there. I guess. Yeah, I've been kind of blabbing about what I've been playing. What have you been playing lately, Ray?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. So, you heard of this game called Sonic the Hedgehog, right? You heard of this character?
Yeah, yes, I am very familiar with the Sonic the Hedgehog and his accompanying fan art. Yes.
Sonic T Hedgehog. So Sonic T Hedgehog he's back. Yeah, I hate when people use that phrase, and I'm using it so ironically. There's a new game out called Sonic Mania. It was made. Sega is pitching it as a game made by the Mania for the Mania. It's made by the fans for the fans. It's actually a game made by a studio created by Christian Whitehead, who used to just do mods of Sonic games. And Taxman, Christian Whitehead used to go by Stealth. Yeah, Stealth. And Taxman, maybe I'm getting it mixed up. Anyway, it's not important. Who also made mods of the game. And Chi Lopez, who used to do music for Sonic games. And a bunch of other people. Who all made this game Sonic Mania. And it's the official follow-up to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. And Sonic Mania is It's great. It's fucking great. It's so fucking great. It's so good.
I've been playing it on my Switch as well, and I think I just got to. I'm not too. I don't think I'm too far in. I just got to like Starlight Highway.
Mm-hmm. You're halfway through. You're at the halfway mark.
Halfway. Okay.
Keep going.
But yeah, I've been as someone who hadn't played a lot of like 2D Sonics when I was growing up because I didn't have a Genesis. That game is it. I've really been enjoying it too, man. It's fast, like all the art and sound. Like it's like I don't know how well it would have run on like a true Genesis back in the day, but it's it just looks really good. Like it's just really good. Like man, I've really been enjoying Sonic Mania 2. Like it's really fun.
So I sat down over the last week and I beat it, and then I was like, man, that was good. Let me go ahead and get all the Chaos Emeralds. I got all the Chaos Emeralds, and there is a super secret last level when you beat the game with all the Chaos Emeralds.
Oh, yeah.
So keep that in mind. Go get that done. And I haven't unlocked all the Blue Sphere games that you can play. For each one that you complete, you get a little medallion, and I haven't unlocked all the medallions, and I've just made peace with the fact that I'm just not going to.
Yeah, those are hard.
I don't know how people just casually, just like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and knock this out real quick. Like, there are people that just completed all the Blue Sphere games, like, day one, and those are the Sonic fans that, you don't fuck with those people. But if you do complete all the Blue Sphere games, you get a new mode called And Knuckles. And that lets you play through all of Sonic Mania with a Knuckles sidekick as opposed to a Tails sidekick. So you can have Sonic and Knuckles, Tails and Knuckles, and come on board to this train with me. You can play Knuckles and Knuckles.
Big the Cat and Knuckles. Yes, finally.
You're such a goddamn troll.
Charmy B and Knuckles.
Stop this. This is the Dark
Archie Comics and Knuckles.
Rouge the Bat and Knuckles.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is what
Shadow and Knuckles. Yeah.
So fucking edgy, but Sonic Mania is great, and I finally started my journey into Nier Automata, and
Really?
Is it Automata or Automata? I'm not sure.
Automata.
It's Automata. Okay.
Because it's like automaton. Because it's a game about robots.
I figured as much.
It's we should. Yeah, you should play that game.
I'll let you know when I finish it. I'm enjoying what I'm playing so far. It's interesting. It's intriguing. It's starting to ask some interesting questions. And I'm only like 2 or 3 hours in.
Okay, who are you playing as right now?
I'm playing as 2B. Do you play as other
2B.
people?
Okay. Maybe.
Okay. I got you. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll talk.
Yeah, you should keep. I think not that we have like a really rigorous game of the year kind of bloodbath on our channel, but that Nier Automata is one that I would throw some serious hands for if someone tried to cut it from any sort of list. You don't understand. That's my like foxhole game this year, I think.
Doesn't that game have like 10 or 20 different endings or something like that?
I think it has one for each letter of the alphabet, so 26.
Jesus.
But not all of them are like true endings. A lot of them are like joke endings where it's like you accidentally died during this boss battle, and I was like, oh, by the way, that was an ending. Oh. Or as I hilariously discovered, if you self-destruct on the spaceship.
Oh, so I was curious if you could do that.
Yeah, that's an ending.
I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to keep that in my back pocket for if I want to.
It's pretty great because it's like, good job, idiot. You died and killed everybody. The end.
There was this moment, and this is not I hope this is not a spoiler because it's like 2 hours in, but there's this moment where the game asks you, do you want the ability to self-destruct? And I'm like, the fuck? I mean, can I do
guess.
that? And then they're like, here's how you do it. Like, why are you telling me this? Oh no, this might be important later. Can I do it now? And then I stop myself. Because I am a smart human being.
Yeah, Yeah, man, that game is something. Like, it's really cool. I am really curious to hear what your thoughts are on it as you play through, because it's, oh man, that game was really. I think that game is really special.
I'm excited.
That game is real good.
Hey, look, Josh is back. Josh, you want to wrap it up by telling us what games you've been playing?
Not a lot as of late. Just been working through Zelda a little bit more. We are close to the end of that game finally. Other than that, playing some Plunk Bat. I got another solo chicken dinner. Felt real good.
Jeez, well done, sir.
That'd be my second. I've
Is
done
it?
2.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Some good shit.
I've got no solo chicken dinners to my name. They're only duos, so good on you.
Yeah, it was 3 kills too. It was pretty good.
Ooh,
So
it was a fuego chicken. Okay.
very, very, very caliente spice. Other than that, that's about it. I have not been doing a lot of gaming the last couple weeks. So
While you're bringing up PUBG, did you guys happen to watch any of that Invitational?
I did not.
I caught the Invitational, and I caught one of the guys that got the first solo chicken dinner. 12 kills.
No.
These guys are insane when they're playing. Like, I learned some tactics where I'm just like, what in the free hell? How do you guys just do this? And they're just like, they just hang out in the blue zone. They just pop a bunch of energy drinks and painkillers. They're like, fuck it, I'm good. And then they just pop off everyone that's running towards the white zone, and it's just... I learned things about that game I didn't know were possible. Like, I didn't know that there's a quick key command for just popping your scoop onto a weapon. There's a key command for that.
What?
That's scary.
There's a key command for healing. There's a key command for quick equip. There's a key command for quick pick up. Like, you don't see the weapon on the ground, you're just running by, and it's automatically in your inventory. There's a key that you hit as you're running and do that. It was nuts. I was kind of impressed with the level of skill on display. But yeah, I think that's about it that we have time for. We've gone on for we've hit our hour. We've done our job. Good job, boys.
Yep.
That's
We talked a lot about Destiny.
That's some good talk. There's a lot of Destiny. We'll have to say the lore quiz I prepared for next time.
Oh, God damn it! Fuck.
Hey, Eddie, you guys, real quick.
You said you wanted to know what the Traveler is. I'll tell you all about the Traveler.
And you guys able
and
to
why it's evil.
Pre-order.
I was gonna tell people where they could follow us, but honestly, if you're gonna do that, I don't think anybody wants to. So I'm not gonna tell them to follow us on YouTube at Unscripted Gaming, or go to Facebook and like us at Unscripted Gaming. Follow us on Twitter at @unscript_gaming. I mean, it'd be ridiculous to tell them that we're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, all those places. Like, I wouldn't want to tell anybody to go follow us there because I don't want to subject them to that bullshit.
Good idea. Yeah, that'd be a real shame.
It'd be a real shame.
Real shame.
Don't follow Unscripted Gaming at any of those places because bad things happen.
I don't have time to explain why. I don't have time to explain why. I don't have time to tell you to not follow Unscripted Gaming.
Indeed.
Mike, you just reminded me why I hated the story of Destiny 1.
That's
that
line
right
there.
That line.
That's called good writing.
I think we brought it full circle, so we'll have to end the podcast forever on that note. So thanks for listening to Unscripted Gaming.
And thanks for all the fish. I'm Mike.
I'm Josh.
I'm Ray.
Peace. Actually, we'll be back. Please keep listening and subscribe.